Okay, thank you very much. It is good to be the last one because you can take no more time because everything was done. Cameroon, I will give some statistics, and you can see that the population is very young. You have a very huge number of students in primary and secondary school. And if you put the fact that we have a lot of refugees from Chad, from Central Africa, from Congo, the number increased very much. The education sector has a particularity is that it's very, very complex. We have 3 ministries, one for basic, one for secondary education, and one for higher. Then we have to coordinate everything. And more complex is the problem of soft system, because you have 2 official languages, English and French. And in fact, it is something with historical good, but can be political bad. I will not go in that way. In Cameroon, the government have chosen the competence-based approach as a key pedagogic option in primary and secondary school. And then for science teachers in general, and for mathematics teachers, because I'm a mathematician, this implies that the teacher approach should be focused on problem solving so that the learner cultivates a spirit of hard work, group work, a sense of initiative and creativity. Then the aims and the general policy is good. But what is the common observation? The first is that the teacher may sometimes use a few examples to help students understand notions that have been taught in class, because teaching remains essentially teacher-centered. In fact, because of the large class size, we sometimes range between 80 to 120 students per class. In this context, the teacher can neither have students do group work nor attend to individual problems. That is the first problem. In experimental science, physics, chemistry, biology, labs are absent, and consequently, no practical work is done. In 2000, we have a program which consists of buying science toolkit for students. It is a program who have been linked with South Africa, but this was not be very fruitful because after 5 years, the program ends. Teachers in general are training from the same lecture model where a lesson delivered by the teacher is followed by some practical or some exercises, and no allusion is made to the problem related to the notion, to the difficulty incurred in the application of the notion, and to the application of notion learned in the solution of concrete problems. Then that is, and the general observation is that there are large class, limited infrastructures and pedagogic materials, lack of scientific culture on the part of the teacher, and no existent curriculum that train teachers and students on a constructivist approach. But we have some particular observation, because in some schools, there is a lot of initiative who have been undertaken at the level of what we call science clubs to solve the problem. But these activities have been undertaken out of the classroom context and in general during holidays. I think that we have ANIMAT, in Douala. He was in holidays. And in fact, the initiator of this extracurricular activity do not have any curriculum idea that can help them to link the project to the concept study in class. In general, is that. And there is community activities, initiative also, who have been put in class through promoting STEAM. In general, they are done by NGOs, and it is the same type of problem. The curricula are conserved from abroad, and they are not linked with our learning environment. We have a lot of examples, and these activities are still very marginal. It is urban activity in general, and the relationship between the project and the concept study in class is hard to establish. We have also many commercial initiatives in the domain of educ, tech, and now it takes 3 to 5 years. We have a lot of experimental style activities based on the use of ICT and internet, and this seriously limits their outreach because of the weak of internet connection as well as the high cost. But I know that Barry will be there. There is a program in Cameroon, the M teacher training program, which is a very good program, who can help us to implement some solution, because there can be some solution. The first is to put in place a curriculum based on activities that can help students to have a scientific culture. And this can be in coherence with teaching program in secondary STEAM. That is done actually by the ENS, École Normale Supérieure, and the EMS program who have been put in place. The secondary solution is we have an in-service training in the Ministry of Education, and we can put on the platform to put on activity on the practice of scientific culture, and some ideas have been put in place. And the third is to promote the activity of science club in secondary school and to organize some context and to improve and promote competition. And we think that we can use the Sésame project to be linked with these EMS projects and the CIP projects. And we hope that one of these centers can be based in a Central African country, but it's not a description of Cameroon, where French and English are two national languages. Thank you very much for your attention.